I'd say the Steel Series.
Steel Series, honestly.
Steel Series.
I'd definitely sit with the Steel Series.
By far.
Definitely the Steel Series.
If I had to pick one of these to pick up in game right now, it's going to be the Steel Series.
Gamers prefer our headsets. Find out why at SteelSeries.com.
Alrighty, ladies and gents, you are live with me here in the best of three between Na'Vi and Leet as we jump into the knife round. You've missed pretty much nothing, just Na'Vi picking up the CT side more than likely on Inferno here. This was Leet's choice of map, and this is going to be a best of three. For those of you asking me in chat who I think is going to win this game, I would definitely go along with Na'Vi. I was thinking Na'Vi before. The fact that Leet have kind of like 3 step-ins / substitutes definitely doesn't help matters. Devil Walk, of course, is casting the ESL finals right now. He's across there as an analyst commentator, so clearly he's not able to be in 2 places at once. And therefore they're going to be running with Benji, Kabom, and also Dumas as well. So Leet, I'm not too sure how this is going to factor in. Of course, these players have played with each other a whole bunch of times in the past. Whether their teamwork's going to be on point is yet to be seen. I will say that sometimes this definitely does throw a bit of a spanner in the works for Na'Vi. Because how are Leet going to be starting this game? How are their tactics going to be working? Are they going to be like a pug mentality? Is it going to be like matchmaking and really catch Na'Vi off guard? Potentially just go in for the picks? I would definitely favour Na'Vi to pick up this best of 3 though. And I could see it going 2-0. But let's see if Leet are going to start off the pistol round. Well, they've lost 3 players very quickly. And just like that, Na'Vi looking good to secure this first round. They may even do it without taking any casualties. Edward just puts down Dumas there. Point blank range in Boiler. Kabom now coming up from T steps. He's going to get a frag back in return. But it's probably only going to be 1. No, he gets 2. Fair enough. Fair play to him. He's doing a lot of damage. He's still on 100% of his HP. Has a lot of time to play with as well. So if he can connect another couple of headshots, this is doable. He still has high HP. Zeus is pushing in with only 30 remaining for him. And of course, that Glock has plenty bullets. So he's still got a good 95 or so to play with. He's looking for his next frag. He's been tagged up left and right. As the CTs exchange weapons to keep their ammunition moving forward. And Kabom has done a pretty stellar job of surviving for this long, but I think his days are numbered now. Down to 6 HP. That bomb on second mid is going to be aggressed on now. So let's switch over to his perspective. He is going to be able to get that bomb, but it's whether he can get the entry, because effectively this is going to be 2 separate 1v1s. He's going to be moving onto site. 8 seconds, he has to run with his knife out, and that is going to prove to be his end. Still, great attempt from Kabom. However, is going to be Na'Vi picking up the first round. It was a lot harder than they were expecting, I'm sure. And let's hope that Leet can bounce back here. Because, again, I think if you look on CSGO Lounge, it was, what, like 85%? Or somewhere like that to Na'Vi. HLTV had the stats much closer. But I think when you have 3 people stepping in, you can't necessarily say that Leet are firing on all cylinders. So, let's see how that one pays off for them. They've just ate a grenade onto Twist and also Benji. Nearly 100 HP of damage just on that one grenade. Zeus in a good position, sees the Deagle sticking through the wall. And he will put Kabum down into his place. This is the first map, guys, for those of you that are asking. We are slightly behind schedule. There was a delay, but you haven't missed any of the action. First map here between Na'Vi and Leet. This is Leet's choice of map. And the knife went to Na'Vi. They elected to go CTs. They picked up that first round. Kabum did a pretty nice job. Look at this double pop flash in from Na'Vi. Although Dumas has added back, though, with the Tech 9. So that's going to cause some problems, potentially, for Leet. But no, I'll just go ahead and assume that the meat grind is in effect. And that's exactly what happens for Na'Vi. 2-0. Pretty comfortable round in the end when Dumas got the entry. I was wondering if maybe Leet could pull it back. Maybe they could connect more bullets to faces with that Tech 9, but it didn't quite pay off for them. Here comes a big push in from Leet through second mid. Edward and C's have both picked themselves up frags. There's Zend, however, with 2 of his own, looking for a third. Banks it. He's longing for the 4th. Therein lays the issue when the CTs play aggressively on these eco rounds. You can easily get down Banana, get round the back of the terrorists, and pick up the comfortable rounds. However, Leet now have themselves some weapons. They have themselves AK-47s with grenades. This is going to be the first proper test for Na'Vi. And this is where I do question how Leet are going to fare with these 3 subs. Especially on maps like Mirage, like Inferno, where teamwork is pretty important and crucial on the T sides. Na'Vi are happy enough to just sit here and wait for Leet to push in. All the pressure is on Leet's shoulders. They still have 3 smokes to play with a bunch of flashbangs as well. And there's Zen through the smoke into the forehead of Zeus. That's a pretty important entry frag, but can they keep this going? Seized is now filled in the blacks for his fallen comrade. And they are keeping Leet at bay, so yes, you get an entry, but they're not getting much out of this one. If they can get another entry onto A, that could very well crumble this A defense. The VAC spam up in chat. That's one of the scary factors about CT on Inferno. There's only a certain amount of places that you can be watching archers. Pre-fire really can pay off pretty huge. You can see here that Leet were thinking about pushing up into Banana, but with 15 seconds have decided to come back to A. That's going to leave them absolutely no time to play with. They have to get these entries, and that bomb may not even get onto the site in time. 6 seconds now. He's jumping onto the site with 4 seconds. He's going to go for the plant, but here comes Seized. And the bomb plant's not going to count anyway. Not in time, so even if Seized was to derp there and ends up getting fragged, the round was over. Na'Vi get their 4th. What rank am I? There's an FAQ section, guys, below the stream, so it'll have a bunch of answers. I'm Supreme Master First Class. And it did seem like a bit of a suspect call from Leet, to say the least there. They were pushing towards B. I did bring up the map so you guys could see quickly. They had the bomb moving en route to B. They then turned around with like 20-15 seconds remaining on the timer, back through mid towards the side, cutting it really fine. And as I said, even though the bomb did get planted, it was about a millisecond after the round ended, so it simply didn't matter. But here comes Twist. I'm a bit surprised that Guardian would get caught in that position. No one was an archer. Surely you'd expect that timing push to come in after the smokes and flashes were thrown in there. But again, we've seen that Leet have got entries. They haven't done a great deal with it. And now Na'Vi are encircling back in from B. C's moving into proximity. He's still got 100% of his HP. Zen, Twist, Benji, all are pretty low. But Twist chimes in with the AWP. So maybe it's not going to matter. As long as they can land those shots, it's going to be all she wrote for Na'Vi. Maybe Leet on the cusp of picking up their first round. Not if Seized has something to say about it. He pulls up the M4 and the USP. Misses almost every shot onto Benji, who's only on 4 HP himself. And that bomb will now be planted. But Flamey with 100% of his HP and a flash and a defuse kit could certainly pull this off. Only 26 health between the 2 remaining Swedes. And Flamey is coming in, checking every single corner. Yeah, he's going to get the first, but here comes the crossfire. No, Zend was at the backside of Pit. He could end up getting fragged here. He is going to get dropped. Is there enough time on the clock? There should be. And yeah, Flamey's going to get this defuse. And Na'Vi pick up their 5th. And that was kind of poor teamwork there from Leet. I understand the idea that they're both low HP, but if you get that crossfire in separate directions, it surely doesn't matter. Because when a Flamey picks up that first frag, you're looking to trade him out. So Leet effectively played that into 2 1v1s, which is always going to favour Flamey with that 100% HP remaining. I really am surprised Leet did not put some crossfire down. And this is where the subs, the stand-ins come to into play. These kind of decisions could prove to be so costly for them. But Leap right back to the drawing board. They've got AKs, they've got themselves grenades. I guess a saving grace, maybe a positive they can take out of this so far, is that they have got entries. It's not a case of them being locked down. They have got frags. They have had opportunities to get rounds on the board. It's just that final execution that's not been paying off. And there's not really much for me to talk about. Na'Vi are just putting down the hammer and Banana. Flamey and Guardian both pick up 2. Kabum is the last remaining player. He's in second mid behind the hay bales. He's going to get the first frag, but he's given his position away and he's lost 39% of his HP in the process. He's going to fall. There we go from Edward. And 6-0 now for Na'Vi, and there's just not much to say. Elite have been outclassed so far. What's the best drop I've seen in game? I was actually playing last night with some friends on my stream, like here. Some ranked, and I don't know how you say it. I don't know what the name of the AK skin is, but it's like hydrophonic or something. Hydrophonic. It was like a minimal wear worth €100. I couldn't believe it. It was crazy. Not for me, by the way, for somebody else. I wish it was for me. Either way, though, Elite are in a position where they've got full round loss bonus chiming in, so they're going to be able to get AKs or Galils pretty much from here on out with Tech 9s. The issue is that age-old conundrum for the T's. If you do pick up a round, you reset that round loss bonus, you have to keep going. And from what I've seen from Elite thus far, I'm not sure I'd expect them to pick up a couple rounds in quick succession. Grenade in from Edward. And again, Elite are just walking into these. They've ate lots of damage right off the bat. It's just timed grenades from Na'Vi. This is just raw experience. It's just playing the game over and over again. And Zend nearly pulls off the carbon copy. It was him that got the frag onto Archers through smoke a few rounds previously. And he nearly dropped Guardian again with the AWP, which should have been a pretty significant frag. However, Twist, look at all the information he's getting, but he's by his lonesome. He's running Lurker. I am so surprised that we're seeing the terrorists now go on to B. This, for me, is an awful call. It may pay off for them if they can get the entries, but seriously, Twist just went in and died, saw 2 or 3 players, and my first reaction was like, oh yeah, okay, well they're going for the lurk, they're going for the interference play, they're trying to draw Na'Vi onto A site, onto B site, pardon me. No, apparently Twist was just like 7 miles ahead of the rest of his team, so they get the information that everyone's stacking B, but then push in anyway. I don't understand. I don't quite understand that call. Because they went full in with grenades and such, they are forced now into a few Tech 9s with an AK. And Flamey again just igniting Banana. How do you deal with this man? He's on fire right now. And he's in position once more to open up. This time it's Zen, though, who has been the standout player for me on Elite. Really the only standout player. But he has been fragged from Edward. They're seized as well. And suddenly it's all on Kaboom. One of the step-ins with the bomb. And he has found the same fate as the rest of his team. Na'Vi 8-0. I don't know, guys. I don't know what to say about this. There's not much that I can analyse from this performance. Like, straight up, Elite are just getting smashed. They don't seem to have set plays. I was wondering if this kind of mix feel would prove to be a benefit, because sometimes it's hard to read a team that's effectively just put together. But it's not. Yo, mods, you're welcome to time people out and stuff if you're having problems in chat. Either way. Guardian with a quick fire double. And this has 9-0 written all over it. And Elite just went back to the drawing board and they forced back up again. and have an AWP on Benji. This is an expensive buy. And this is going to sting. They're trying to do as much damage as possible, but the problem now is that Na'Vi have so much funds to play with, it simply doesn't matter. They can afford to lose 2 or 3 players per round. It's the currency now of round wins that really counts. And Leet are, well, way, way behind. They're in debt, if you will. Dumas is about to get himself picked off from the side, from Seized. 9-0. I don't even. Do we have the 16-0 dream? I've casted a couple 16-1s, 16-2s, never a 16-0. This is much better from Leet. But again, the issue hasn't been their entry fragging, it's been what they've done after that. It's the executions, it's the shot calling, perhaps. It's been letting them down. Guardian now, we've seen him so many times from these positions pull off miraculous plays. There's the first. He is actually on for the ace if he picks up the rest of these frags. He's already got himself 2. The bomb's being planted from Zen, so that's going to keep their economy going forward somewhat. But here comes the retake once more from Na'Vi. I like that Guardian waited for the rest of his team there. Didn't get greedy, just hiding in. Apps, peeks out. Kaboom takes his head off his shoulders. Beautiful shot from him. But they're going to need a bit of a rinse and repeat job here if Leet to pick up their first round. Flamey gets dropped. There's Kaboom with the double spray down. Beautiful from him. And finally, Leet get themselves on the board. But as I said, you can see the economy here from the CTs is pretty massive. Instant rebuy. No problems at all. The dream is dead. The dream is certainly dead for Na'Vi. But keep things into context here, guys. This was Leet's choice of map. They went for Inferno. They felt confident on this, and they're getting battered. And again, Seized. Just locking down Banana. You could see that Twist was not expecting that aggressive play without smoke. Typically, CTs will hide there when there's smoke down, the one-way smoke in effect, but this time just playing cheeky and gets himself the frags. The T's were thinking about pushing in and then decide against it because these smokes are stopping them from going in. And I did say the importance before. I touched on this. It's so important to make sure that after you win that first round, from the round loss and you reset it, that you keep that momentum going forward. Otherwise, you're probably going to be on ecos, or you're going to be on some sort of force buy with Tech 9's AKs. Flamey's in such a good position to strike here. His spray let him down a tiny bit, and that's the reason he got dinked. Does anyone know that there is a player coming round the back? That's going to be Zend. It's not actually Zend, it was Damas. And he's been picked off, so in a blink of an eye, well, that's all she wrote for the round. They needed Damas to get round the back there and cause some havoc from Connector through the construction. And as soon as he died, so did the hopes of Leet. And you can see what I'm talking about. Their economy is terrible. 1,400 on Twist, 1,700 on Kaboom. And it is going to be a force-up with armor. And I think this is just desperation play, really. We have, however, seen how the Deagle can come into fruition from plays like Simple. So maybe Twist is going to pull off some sick 1-digs. Somewhat steady this capsized ship for Leet. Well, not if Tiger. Well, I just called him Tiger. Nice. His name's Edward, Vince. Great job. He does have Tiger in his name to start off with, in fairness, but it is Edward. Not if he has something to say about it. He gets the frag. Twist is going to be the next in the crosshairs. It's difficult to get enthusiastic about this game, guys, because it's just so one-sided at this point. Like, what do I even say? How is this caster even staying awake? I'm trying my best, guys. The issue is, when you solo cast, typically you want to bounce off an analyst. That's why I'm really interactive with chat. But when it's close games, when it's like 16-14, 16-13 games where all action's going down, you've got aces, sick highlight-worthy play. As a play-by-play caster, that's heaven. When it's a one-sided smash, not so much. Because how do you get hyped about this? I mean, Elite probably have half a mind just on the next map, honestly. Unless their CT side proves to be almost flawless. Can they bounce back in this game? They would need to go 11-4, in my opinion, which is looking more and more unlikely considering that they are on a force of a couple Tech-9s and P250s, and they're walking into the sights of Zeus and Seas, who both get themselves 2. Edward with the final frag. You can see there on the scoreboard, Seized on 17-4, Guardian 17-7, and Flamey 12-4. Nobody on the side of Elite has themselves a positive kill-to-death ratio. 8-12 is the top for Kabom. It's a nice couple flashes from Elite. They aren't going to get the rewards with an entry frag, but again, the issue here is I'd quite like to see the T's try something different. Typically, as soon as that smokes lands from Na'Vi, Elite just back away. They like want no part of that. A bit of a derp smoke. I think it bounced off C's legs. But typically, they just kind of straight away pull back. And that's the safe play. And that, most of the part, is the correct decision. But Na'Vi know this. They know as soon as that smoke lands, they can just force in right now. Look at this confidence. They just got 2 players peeking. They don't care. They do not respect Elite at all. And they nearly get punished, in fairness. They are 4-2 behind now. And I feel this may be some cockiness coming out from Na'Vi. The way they've been playing, you can't exactly blame them. But what I'd like to see Elite do now and again is maybe push through the smoke as just a combined unit. They know at the worst case scenario it's going to be like a 2v4. And just try and catch Na'Vi off guard, put them out of their comfort zone. Because right now Na'Vi are dictating the pace of the action and they're on CT side. It's normally the terrorists that dictate the pace of the action. Because of course they're the team that's forcing in. They're the team that is aggressing and attacking the sites. Second round for Elite as I'm speaking. Again, though, I don't think 3 rounds is enough. But that's all they can play for right now, is 3 rounds on their T side. Crazy things have happened. This is definitely a CT-sided map, I'd say, by and large. And when you have 3 subs in, surely CT side will be the easier of the 2 because you don't have to have as many strats, not as many intricate tactics down. But I don't think they are going to get the 3rd. Zend is all that remains, and he is in a bit of a tough situation. I guess the saving grace is the bomb is back towards T-step, so it's not on B or in a horrible place, but he's being encircled. There's the... I thought he was going to get the first frag, but Edward just faster on the trigger. And, well, there you go. 13-2. A complete blowout performance from Na'Vi. What do you guys reckon? Is there anybody in chat that believes in the comeback? Is the comeback real right now? No problem, 16-0 dream. Wow. Zidko, if Lee come back from this, I'll give away my M9 Doppler. Guys, we'll have to hold him to that. No way. Yeah. Impossible. Some sweeping statements being made there, but I definitely agree. I don't think it's possible on this map. Maybe in Mirage we'll see something much more confident from the Swedes, but, well, it's business as usual for Na'Vi. Rushing into the site, bagged themselves 2 frags. Zen's got 1 in return, but Seized in Library. Opting for the aggressive defense. Knowing that the retake would come in from CT spawn, right place at the right time, and there we go. Elite have been dropped, and that pretty much is going to signify the 16-2 half. And the first map going the way of Na'Vi, barring a miracle. Elite have to force buy here. There's no point in saving. Aikashi, yeah, me too. I love to be as enthusiastic as possible, and you know, I love Counter-Strike, I love watching awesome games, but the fact of the matter is I've got to be realistic as well as a caster, you have to be honest. Elite have just been battered. I don't think anyone could argue with that fact, that statement. It hasn't been close. They definitely had an opportunity to pick up another 3 or 4 rounds, I would say, but it's been kind of mistakes that have cost them huge. On another day, we could have sort of a 10-5 scoreline at half-time on T side. But that's all maybes, ifs and buts. Counter-Strike is a game that is very punishing if you make mistakes, and that's exactly what's been happening so far. But Elite do have themselves enough pistols to make things interesting in this round. The 5.7 and the CZ could definitely come into fruition. There's Edward from point-blank range executing Zen, using the cheeky spot on Archers. 50 seconds to play with, and Na'Vi again are just forcing this in. They have took a couple casualties, but they're making Elite pay now, and it's on Twist and Benji who are coming in. One short, one long. Twist through short, gets the opening pick, but that's all he's going to get from this exchange. And now Zeus and Guardian just have to get the crossfire down. A bit surprised, I've got to say, that Zeus did not help out his teammate, but he's still in a good enough position to clutch this round out. Benji is definitely the happier of these two players. I'm a bit surprised why he doesn't have the MAC-10, but it doesn't matter. A bit confused why he wasn't wielding the MAC-10 coming around that corner, but he got the frag anyway, and he will get the round. So Elite hold on just about. I demand an economy check. Boom. That's not going to update until the round's ended. There you go. There's the economy check. Mr. IRS man. I'd have liked to have seen, you know, this is very reminiscent of what Elite did in a 1v2. I think it was Flamey that clutched it. Where, just set up a crossfire. Make sure that if you lose a player, it's at the cost of the aggressor, that you can definitely get that round in your favour. Na'Vi now on the force, realising that they can afford to do this. They've got such a huge round buffer. 11 rounds would be required from Elite in a row just to take us to even. So Na'Vi, they're happy enough to just force up here. Wait for the round loss bonus. Zend is doing a good job from Archers. Only going to pick up the one frag, although he was flashed and there was heavy smoke down. And once more, you're seeing that the push into library that could definitely come to haunt Elite. It was Cease who comes back through with the Tech 9. He bags himself a frag. Guardian now with the Deagle. Somehow still alive. I thought Kabom would definitely have picked him up earlier than that, but still Elite do get the round. And they keep 3 weapons, so that's not too bad from them. They're navigating their way over the first few hurdles. A couple cuts and bruises here and there, but by and large they're keeping themselves alive and well in this game. The problem is that they're running out of rounds. If they lose one more, that's pretty much all she wrote. So there's so much pressure. Very little room for error here as well from Elite. Na'Vi with a bit of a throwaway round. They've gone for like pretty much a full eco. And just rushing in through the Molotov. This is going to be... This should be a round where Elite lose no players. Twist is going with that USP. There we go. With the headshot onto Seized as he jumps up from the wagon. So, as expected, Elite get the round comfortably, but now Na'Vi with AKs. And this is where the long grind begins from Elite. If they get like 14-10, then I'll begin to believe that Elite can get this game back in their favour. But there's a long, long time, a long haul between then and now. Elite holding on to Banana for now. Not playing as aggressively as Na'Vi did, who were pushing with flashes and smokes, and you saw Flamey consistently pushing from that car, getting frags. As I said, very confident play from Ukrainians. The Swedes, again, they started off this round pretty well. I did say that I feel CT definitely favours a team with 3 subs in it, more than T does. Especially on maps like Inferno. Inferno is very unforgiving to mixed teams, and that's one of the reasons I was a bit surprised when I heard that Elite had picked Inferno. There's a 1-for-1 trade. Zeus back through mid, getting lots of real estate. Lots of information. But again, Elite are doing a good job of holding on. And this is a good call from them as well. They have 3 players on A. Oh, dear me. As I say, that Twist starts to pull himself away from A. That could leave them vulnerable. He's playing in that limbo position, a high weight. He goes towards B, but it's going to be an A take from Na'Vi. And that call could end up costing them huge. It's a 3-on-3. Zeus with only 4 HP. And Flamey has just been dropped from the hands of Zens. That's a nice frag there from Zen on the retake. 8 seconds, that bomb has to be planted. It will go down any second now from Zeus just before the frag comes in. And the second as well from Twist. And Elite get their 6th round. And they're making a go of this. I've got to say, you know, credit to them. They were down and out. They won 4 rounds in a row. And after that forcing from Na'Vi, that full buy, they could be thinking about an eco. They do have enough funds to run with AKs. And again, because of the round buffer, they may just go for this. And they are going to. Let's have a look at the score. Last time I checked, nobody was positive on Elite. That's still the case, but they're all starting to get themselves a few more frags. It's a lot more even as well. Cubham on 13, Zen 12, Twist 12 as well. And Benjamin 11. So considering how this game looked like it was going to go, Elite are pulling this one out. They're playing for pride. This is going to give them more confidence as well going through to Mirage. If they got battered 16-2, you could be moving into that second map almost with a defeatist attitude. Here comes Guardian. He gets USP down from Damas. The bomb's been dropped. That's going to be called to the rest of Elite. And quickly, they are moving in. Benji through Banana. Going to get the better of C's from behind. Catches him with his pants down. It's all on Zeus. He's been flashbanged on quad. And that bomb's in such a horrible place from his perspective as well, because it leaves him so vulnerable jumping up there onto balcony. So you can see he's almost playing for a frag. He wants to take this into a 2v1, feels his opportunities and his chances are so much higher. And I would agree with that statement. The problem is, though, that the CTs know this. They're biding their time. No one's going to go ahead and try and pick him off just yet. They're waiting for him to tighten that noose around his own neck. There's the first in this 1v3, however. And a smoke down. He's gone for the fake plant. This mind games from Zeus. And he's going to go to B. And he's going to get that plant as well. Lita's still on the site. And they're kind of scratching their heads wondering what the hell's going on. They think they've just cottoned on now. They're like, yep, it's B. And he's going to get this plant. Beautiful play from Zeus. And with this plant as well, it allows him to set up in position. And it's still not favourable, right? The CT should still win from this, but Zeus has just given himself a lifeline out of nothing. Out of pure thin air. Elite need to move together now, and this has been one of their weaknesses. It's been that cohesion because of the substitutes coming in. Zeus is going to get the... No, he whiffs his chance! I thought he's going to wait for the defuse. He whiffed his opportunity so much. Oh man, the way he was coming around the corner, I was like, okay, he's going to check this bomb, he's going to see it's not being defused, and he'll go back into construction. And he'll just rinse and repeat until he can line them up and get the frags. But he lost his nerve. Still well played from Zeus up until that point. He got the bomb plant that allows Na'Vi to go in for another buy with grenades. I really do feel that Zeus had that in the bag though. That would have been a great clutch. But he's just got to dust himself down. That's in the past. Here's the present. Here's the now. This is a best of 3, ladies and gents. This is the first map. Again, huge credit to Elite. They were getting battered, and they have started to bounce back. Na'Vi making some mistakes. Benji now with the frag. You can see them growing in confidence. These are frags that they would have missed beforehand. That smoke comes out. And it's Benji who's on the site. 3 players to repel. In actual fact, it's 4 players, and he's by himself. That flashbang lands on his face, and now he needs to peek out and pull off something crazy, and it's not going to happen. Headshotted through the wall, courtesy of Guardian, and the bomb has crumbled. And here lies the issue. Camera, please, Gaben, sort your crap out. Please. Thank you. Herein lies the issue for Elite. Because they've left themselves such little wiggle room, the fact they're going to maybe lose this round could put them pretty much on the round loss and the map loss as well. But the CTs are coming in. It's a 1v1. Kabum chasing onto the side. He has a defuse kit. He's got the kill. Does he have enough time? This is going to be so close, and he's missed his opportunity. He jumped up onto it, and that half a second cost him dearly, and it cost Elite dearly as well. 15-7 now. And for all the heroics, that's the issue of going, what was it, 13-2, 12-3? It was 13-2 at half-time. There's the issue. You can have the most heroic comeback. You can get the rounds. You can get the momentum, but you lose one round. That's pretty much it. It's done. I feel he probably had that defuse if he didn't jump up there. He like tapped the bomb, he jumped up, and then ended up having no time left. This is a beautiful hold from Leet though. Because they've accrued so many rounds in a row, they got good economy. Zeus is making this as painful as possible, and again he's in another clutch situation. That grenade lands by his feet. 47 health disintegrates in the blink of an eye. And, well, there's the other 53 as Damas puts a bullet between his head. His eyes, I should say. Between his head. Nice English, Vince. Good job. Hammer time. They are coming back, but I still feel this may be too much to ask from Leet. This makes me question, though, how important that knife round actually was. If Leet start on CTs, we could see them finishing the half at maybe 10-5, 11-4. And then there's less pressure on their shoulders from starting off, so I feel that knife was massive, and it did go down to the last player as well. If it's 15-15, it goes into overtime. Matthias Pro. Goes into overtime. We must have a winner here on the first map. I do definitely feel that knife round was massive. Regardless. Leet are in a good position to strike again. It is an eco. Nothing too spectacular from Leet, but they do keep their weapons going forward, so that's a nice saving grace for them. That includes an open 4 M4, so they're building up that economy nicely. They can afford to lose a couple weapons here, maybe 3 at a push. And Navi on the double eco. They've gone for Kevlar because they can afford AKs whatever happens next round. And of course we all know the terror of Tech 9s with armor and that P250. This is definitely a potent tactic that Leet will need to watch out for. I said, if Leet can get to 10 rounds, I'll begin to believe. I still hold by that. Because in fairness to them, a lot of these rounds as well, it hasn't just been a case of going back and forth. They had 5 rounds in a row, they've just picked up another 2. That's after losing the pistol round as well, so this half has been more one-sided than it actually appears. A lot of these rounds have been clear-cut rounds that Leet have won as well, keeping 4 or 5 players alive. That Molotov is going to keep Edward at bay. On 12 HP, still gets the kill with the Tech 9. And that, in a nutshell, ladies and gents, is why the Tech 9 is so terrifying. Even on eco rounds, it can still prove to be huge. Benji, though, from point-blank range, resoundingly shuts down Zeus. Seized elsewhere on the map, has found himself taken down. There's Benji once more. It's all on Flamey. He pushes through with a Tech 9, and he gets dropped. 10 rounds now for Leet. Leet picked Inferno, that is correct, Hyper BIOS. Next map's Mirage, and then the final map will be Cache, I believe. If we need it. Mirage is another map, though, that I feel Leet may struggle on with their 3 sub stand-ins. Especially T-side, I could see them struggling. They may just go out for all-out aggression, to be fair, through on A-site. But that's in the future. I'm going to stick with this game now. We can talk about that when we do move on to Mirage. Leet of Kit definitely came out second best in the early exchanges. I say that, but there's 2 frags. Commentator's curse, Rife once again. Na'Vi losing those first 2 casualties early on in the round. Still a minute to play with. They still could potentially force through. They've got grenades, 3 smokes, and 5 flashbangs. That's more than enough work. No Molotovs, though, to draw out players on the site. Mollies are pretty important on T-side. Nice entry from Flamey. That is going to somewhat salvage this shipwreck. Maybe not. Because then he goes looking onto short and he gets shut down. Damas now pushing through the smoke onto quad. Realizes there could be another player there. Flashing from him. From Zend, I should say. Looking for that quick, cheeky peek. I think he's caught a glimpse of Guardian. Indeed, he did. And he converts it into a frag. So it's all on Zeus. He's been in a lot of these scenarios, actually. Like 3v1s, 4v1s. And to be fair, he's always had a pretty good shot at these. You know, he's put in a good performance. So I wouldn't write him off. But then I just checked the time and we're 10 seconds. Well, there's no chance. He's just going to save this AK. Trashcaster doesn't even check time. GG. Here's me like, maybe we can see something sick. Oh wait, he's got 10 seconds. Nope. (15-11) a Na'Vi on another eco. Is this real life? I'm going to hold my hands up. I said at 13-2 this map's over. I said that. I definitely said that. Go TV. Go TV. Okay, we didn't miss anything. I thought Gaben was going to strike again. You want my Doppler? I don't have a Doppler, buddy. So that's news to me. Yeah, you can have my non-existent Doppler. Cool, I'll give that away. Right, so 15-11. Lead of battle back. Through thick and thin, they have been here. But again, you can't underestimate the power of the pistols, and there is still an AK's use that was saved up from last round. Leader look very solid on their CT side. You can see from their setup as well that they've gone for 4 players stacked around A, although, again, Zend is that anchor player that can go through highway quickly towards B. The issue here is that if the terrorists push very aggressively and they get this frag onto Twist, he only has an AWP. There's every chance they can force onto this side. Twist misses the first shot, but connects the second. Onto Flamey. Benji now seals the deal onto Guardian. Zeus with the frag. Here comes Benji though, and that bomb's going to get planted. Surely not, Na'Vi. Surely you're not going to somehow clutch this out with Seized in a 1v4. He has no grenades, but he's lining them up and he gets 3 players with a spray down. Oh my god, no way, Seized, please. You can't pull this off. This is not human. And he gets the 4th as well. Seized with the 1v4 clutch. No grenades, just an AK. Unbelievable. 16-11. What a way to end for Na'Vi. Oh, and Leet are going to be sick. That's the kind of play that puts you on tilt. I'm just talking about them bouncing back, getting all these rounds on the board, coming back from a 13-2 deficit, and then boom, just like that. Nope. I'm going to 1v4 clutch you guys. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Well, 1-0 to Na'Vi. We're going to go to a break. I'm going to just go ahead and contemplate the meaning of life after that clutch. Be right back.